right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. As you know, we're trying to go hybrid here today. It's going to be a fun experience for sure. I was trying to put this same screen up on our big screen TVs back here. Can I get a thumbs up if you could hear me, or in the chat box, can you just let me know that you can hear me okay? Appreciate that, Thomas. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brock. Thank you, Rocky. I appreciate that, guys. Appreciate the support. Let me see in the waiting room, make sure nobody's out there waiting. Thank you, Brock. All right, so as you guys are coming in, let us know what city and state you're coming in from. We do have international guests here sometimes, so it's always good to know exactly where it is you're coming in from. So when you have a chance, in the chat box, if you will, just type in what city and state. And if you're coming in from another country, because we are expecting international guests, go ahead and let us know that as well. What city and country you're coming in from. We're just going to give a few more minutes so that others could have time to join us here today. Okay, we got some Atlanta people. I wish you guys were here today. That would have been nice to have you here in person and finally have met you in person. But I really am grateful that you guys are joining us virtually. We also have some guests here as well. So we're going to go ahead around the room probably and kind of like introduce ourselves. And then we'll go from there. Once everybody introduces themselves, I'll go ahead and into the content. And then we'll have some more opportunities at the end to still go ahead and network as well. All right, guys, so it's the top of the hour, 6:08. So we're going to go ahead and get officially started here. So I want to, again, thank everyone who's here today. Roderick, who's here to my right, thank you so much for joining us. Also, Brock, who was feeling a bit under the weather and was still kind enough to join us. Thomas, I'm still looking forward to meeting you in person. And Rocky, I know you're fairly new here, so I look forward to getting to know you better. And hopefully, you know, like we say in this meetup, we're here to network, learn, and possibly meet up and possibly partner up, I should say, on deals. So if you're here for those purposes, you're in the right place and definitely at the right time. So thank you guys for joining us. Okay, so this is MultiFamily Investor Nation Meetup Monday. I'm your host for today. My name is Carlos D. Reinoso, as you can see here in the background. And again, this is MultiFamily Investor Nation's Monday Meetup. And we're here to network, learn, and possibly partner up on deals. Today's topic is going to be on raising capital for your multifamily deals. So, you know, in the past, we have touched on how to raise capital. And today we're going to go a little bit deeper on that. And we're going to give you some tips and tactics to go ahead and start your multifamily capital raising experience, if you will. So let's see here, some quick announcements. As you're coming in and you gave us your city and state, if you would in the chat box, feel free to share your information as far as email, phone number, your contact info. And that way you could come to the bottom of your screen here where you see the three little dots and it'll say save chat. And that way you'll have a copy of the chat. And as everyone's giving their contact info, you'll be able to reach out to them directly as well. Okay, so as we go around the room, I'm going to go ahead and start with whoever's unmuted. So if you would kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're currently doing in the multifamily space. And Rocky, thank you for that. So if anyone wants to go ahead and go first, just let us know a little bit more about yourself and what you're currently doing in the multifamily space. And Brock has gone ahead and unmuted himself. So Brock, if you would, make sure your mic is nice and loud, and go ahead and just tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you're currently doing in the multifamily space. Thank you.
I am a software analyst by trade, and I got into multifamily about 2 years ago, and I have actually 5 properties that I'm invested in now. And actually I got 2 different operators I've actually invested in now. So they'll be closing on one in Texas. It's a bundle deal, which is pretty cool. hopefully by the end of the week, by the end of the month, and that'll give me a total of 5 properties I'll be invested in.
That sounds good. So last time we talked in the last meetup, you were up to 4. And the last 2, I believe, or the previous one to the last was with Dan. So can you tell us who you're investing, or, if it's okay to share?
Yeah. It is I think it's Ashland Green Capital out of Texas. John Montero is one of the sponsors on the deal.
Okay. And Merrill Calliser, he's in that group as well.
Okay. He may be, I don't remember all the names.
Yeah, he's a syndication attorney, if I'm not mistaken. So congrats. That's a great team to be investing with. I'm very familiar with John Montero. I do get a lot of his deals. And I do believe they have a webinar coming up on that property on, I believe, Wednesday of this week, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. That's actually a new one, another deal. I mean, that's a 600 unit. It's a 2-bundle 600 unit property. Nice. Out of Dallas Fort Worth.
Perfect.
So the one I'm in is 2 properties at 400 units between the 2 of them.
Yeah, those are still great deals, and a great group as well. So I appreciate you sharing that. Okay, now Thomas, Rocky, anybody else want to go ahead and share a little bit?
Yes, Thomas Coakley. I'm an insurance agent, focused mainly on the senior market with Medicare and things like that. I am fairly brand new to multifamily. I literally just put in my first offer on a duplex like Sunday. So 48 hours from that, we'll see what they say. So that's the extent of my experience. But I'm just looking out here just to make some things happen, take action, and figure it out as I go.
That's great. That's great. I mean, congrats on your LOI and on your purchase and sale. Hopefully that'll pan out for you. So that's really great, man. I'm glad you're getting the ball rolling right away. So hitting the ground running. Congrats, Thomas. I appreciate that. Rocky, did you want to go ahead as well?
Yeah. Hi. So I just graduated college in May with a degree in computer science and engineering, but I decided to kind of do a 180 and get into real estate as well. So I've just been kind of the last couple of weeks trying to research and network and learn as much as I can, and been trying to get my first deal on multifamily. Toured a property this weekend. It's a 6 units in Columbus, Ohio. Just kind of looking around and really excited to get my first deal.
That sounds great, Rocky. And where are you located at currently?
I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia, but perfect. I went to school at Ohio State, so I know Columbus, Ohio quite well, and I still have a lot of connections up there. So
right on. That's great. Yeah, that's a great market. Ohio has a great market over there. So kudos to you. Good job there as well. And we also have Roderick here. He's actually here live with us. So I'm going to go ahead and scoot over and let him go ahead and introduce himself. He's actually one of the partners that we're considering of teaming up together and possibly working some deals together. Definitely want to introduce him to you guys. He was in the previous podcast as well. He's joined us in the past, and I definitely want to go ahead and introduce him here, let him get a chance to introduce himself. And there you go. So yeah, Roderick, if you would just come on in here.
Sneaking in here behind Carlos. So I've got a duplex myself on the investing side, looking to scale, acquire more properties, kind of going through the acquisition phase. Been working with Carlos as well as another person, Parth, and just excited to be here, meet all you guys, and enjoy all of today's presentation.
Right on. Thank you, Roderick. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, Roderick has been very helpful in the process of setting up here today. And we met through Bigger Pockets, which is a great forum, by the way. If you guys aren't familiar with Bigger Pockets, I definitely recommend getting familiar with Bigger Pockets, networking on there. There's a lot of great opportunities. This is definitely the right place to show up at. So I definitely want to thank you guys for coming in here today. There's a lot of places you could be, but you've decided to share it with us, and I'm very grateful for that, because we're actually doing this live out of a restaurant in Georgia called Taco Mac, and we're kind of working on the fly here. And in just a moment, I'll go ahead and bring up the presentation. All right, here we go. So today we're going to be talking about raising capital. thank you so much, guys, for your patience with us today. I appreciate that you're all still here. We're going to go ahead and get started right away. So who I am and why I'm here today, in case you're wondering. So my name is Carlos D. Reinoso. I'm the co-organizer for MultiFamily Investor Nation here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm also the founder and CEO of Canis Major Investment Capital, LLC. We're basically investing into your future through multifamily syndications. I'm a managing partner. I'm also a general partner, and I'm a capital raiser as well. So I've written the book. I am the author of the book, Selling Secrets You Can't Afford to Miss. You know, I've been doing that for a while. Basically, it's a book that I wrote during the COVID, when COVID first hit. I started writing it, and it's near and dear to me because it's something that after 20 years of being in the industry was my way of giving back to an industry that's been really good to me. So enough about me. So real quick on the announcements, as you're coming in, we requested that you give us your city and state that you're coming in from. If you're coming in from another country, let us know that as well. If you can, in the chat box, for those who are here live, go ahead and put your first and last name, possibly your email and phone number, any contact information that you could share. And what I will try to do is share that information with the rest of the investors that are here with us today. Bonus for those who do give us your email information, you will get the video webinar on how to get started in multifamily. That's from Dan Hanford of MultiFamily Investor Nation. So that's a free video. That's a bonus that we give you just for signing up and giving us your email address. So it's, you know, it's a great video if you're getting started, or even as a refresher course, it's very helpful. As far as places you could reach out to us, to me specifically, you can reach me at YouTube, at my YouTube channel at Carlos D. Reinoso. You could also reach us on Facebook at Canis Major Investment Capital, LLC. On LinkedIn at Carlos D. Reinoso. And on Instagram, De Jesus Carlos 33. And obviously, I'm also on Twitter, and that handle is going to be at Carlos De Jesus 33. All right, guys, so this is part of the presentation, the content that I wanted to share with you. And usually I do this where I draw it live, and you know, it's usually time consuming, so I've gone ahead and saved you some of the time. So what we're doing now is we're going to go ahead and talk about this, what we call the investor triad. And the investor triad is very important when you're trying to raise capital. And real quick, I'm going to ask this question. My question to you guys is, from know, like, and trust, which one would you say is most important when dealing with investors? And if you would, I'm going to stop for a second because I want to check the chat box. If you would, let us know, in your opinion, which is most important, to know, to like, or trust. I see a lot of trust. I got one no. Some are still coming in here. A couple likes. And what do you guys say, you guys that are here live? Trust. And Parth, what would you say most important? And yeah, trust is definitely important, but I will tell you that more important than trust, I would say, is to know. And the reason why know is so important, because if someone's going to get to like you, they're going to have to first get to know you. And before they get to like you, they definitely need to know who you are and what you're about. And so that's very important, that that the people get to know you as well, so that later on they could jump in and start to like you as well. So that is, in my opinion, the most important is to know you. And then once they know you, they could like you, and then they could trust you as well. In the investor triad, when they first get to know you, then you're going to be over here on the raising capital side. On the left-hand side, you're going to be raising capital for your deals. And in doing so, you know, you're going to start getting the word out about who you are and what you're doing. And that's going to help you get the word out to the other investors that, you know, you're looking to partner up on deals. You're looking to possibly take down some deals in your market, right? So then once they get to like you, then the next step is they'll get to to trust you, and that's when they start to invest with you as well. So once they know you, they started to like you, they like you for a while, you know, you've met, you've had conversations, you've possibly had some dinners together, some lunches together. Now they're getting to trust you. And the best part is once they start to trust you, then that's when this part comes in and they start investing with you. Okay. And once they're investing with you, you got the ball rolling. You got investors that now know who you are. They like you already. They trust you already. They're investing their money in your deals. And now the next thing would be, what do you guys think would be next after the investor now knows you, now likes you, they've already invested with you? What do you think, what would you say would be next? And if you would, just enter it into the chat box. Could be trust, it could be something outside the box. Just let me know, what do you think would be the most important thing that comes after the investors already invested with you their money? What do you think would be next? Okay, and I'm seeing here some people are saying raising capital. Okay, that could be, raising capital could be a thing for sure. Okay, exactly, referrals. And that's the best part, because once they get to know you, they like you and they trust you, they've already invested with you. Now what they're going to do is they're going to let their friends know, and that's where we're here right now, where it says referrals. They're going to let their friends know, hey, I invested with Carlos and his group and Canis Major Investment Capital, right, my investment firm, and this guy gave us the returns that he promised. He had great communication throughout the process. He's keeping us apprised of the transaction as it's going forward. And he's also gone ahead and sent us our first distributions, our second distributions. And we're now, let's say, at month 6. And yeah, he's kept his word. Everything he said he was going to do, him and his team have been doing. So I really like this guy. I really trust Carlos and Canis Major Investment Capital. So what's next? They're going to refer me and my group to their team members. And now what happens is you come back to, you skip the no part up here on top of the investor triad, and you go back to them directly investing with you. So they already like you because they trust and like their partner or their friend, and their friend is the one they're referring to you. So now they openly, eyes closed, decide, hey, I'm going to invest with this guy because this guy has a good reputation in the industry. And my friend, who I've known for XY 20 years plus, referred him. So I definitely feel comfortable investing with him as well. Okay, and I'm just going to check the chat box briefly. And exactly, yeah, some others said referrals, exactly right. So that is correct. And then now we're going to go ahead and how do you get people to know who you are, right? And raising capital from high net worth individuals. And how do you go about doing that? And what's the process to find high net worth individuals? Which, you know, we're right now at Taco Mac, and we have a full house here. There's a bunch of investors, and they're all looking to invest with someone. Some of these people are high net worth individuals. Some of them own their own companies. A lot of them are already investing in multifamily investments. So this is, I'm going to tell you now, what I'm going to share now is ways that you can get to know high net worth individuals, or HNI. And how do we get to know these people? Where do we find these people? So one of the places you could look locally is in your local newspaper and in other magazines, and just look for people in your market. People in your market, look for high net worth. So you could do a Google search in either magazines or newspapers and find people in your market that are, you know, that are high net worth. And then once you reach out to them, you know, try to network with them, find out where they're at and meet them where they're at, right? That's a very important thing, to meet them right where they're at. Very important. You also want to participate in meetups. So there's your virtual meetup, and there's your in-person meetup, and there's what we're doing here today, which is a makeshift hybrid meetup, if you will. And so that's another thing you want to do is go ahead and meet in person at these meetups, participate. Don't just go, but go and participate, be a part of it, kind of introduce yourself to other investors. And that's a good way to meet them as well. Uh, you want to provide local seminars and workshops for these investors that are coming into your meetups, and just kind of add value. I'm always about adding value, and part of the reason I started this meetup was because I was learning so much information that I felt would be beneficial to others, and I believe you could do the same, where you could possibly do your own meetup, right? And you could do a virtual meetup these days with Zoom. You could do virtual. A lot of times, like today, we don't necessarily have people, but other times we have international investors. So it's definitely important to have some kind of thought leadership platform so that other people could get to know you and find out more about you. And at the same time, you could add value to them. And that's going to build that trust relationship. And it's also going to build that know part of the triad, where people are getting to know you better. And now they're going to feel more comfortable, and they're going to feel like they know you. I get calls sometimes, and I start the conversation, and automatically the first thing that the people on the other end are saying is, Carlos, I feel like I know you already. I feel like we've known each other for a long time, and they feel comfortable with me. And the main reason they feel comfortable is because they see me and the thought leadership platform and this podcast, right, for Multifamily Investor Nation, and in other meetups that I go to. And so they feel like they've gotten to know me over the years. And so I believe that's a great way to meet these high net worth network individuals as well, high net worth individuals. You want to speak at local events. So the local events doesn't always have to be, let's say, multifamily. It could be like, let's say if you're a business owner and you have, let's say you're good at marketing. So you could go to another business workshop and, ask to speak at the workshop and say, listen, I'm really good at marketing. I get international clients all the time. I would like to, if possible, present at your workshops, at your local event, and kind of, get to know your group of people as well. So that's another format you could use. And you guys, thank you so much for bearing with me. I'm almost done here. So I appreciate your patience and your time with us today. This video will be edited and it will be posted on my YouTube. And at that point, it will be edited, so you won't see the 5-minute lapse or whatnot for the presentation. So thank you guys for bearing with me with that. I really appreciate you. So something else, you guys, the reason why I say put your contact info here is because I want you guys to network with each other. We do have some people here that are joining us on a regular basis. And you can get to know each other. Through this meetup, people have partnered on deals. And recently through this meetup, I met Roderick, which you guys had the pleasure of meeting earlier today. He's looking to partner with me on some deals. I have Parth, who's also here in person, looking to partner with me on some deals. And possibly we might be doing additional virtual meetups. In those meetups, we're possibly going to be doing presentations and interviewing other investors on how they got started, how they're finding deals, and just everything having to do with multifamily. So we hope you're going to join us for that as well. So direct mail is another great source. You want to direct mail to that same list that you found of high net worth individuals, excuse me. We got some late arrivals, so bear with me while I let them in as well. You guys, if you guys see anybody coming in, please tell them this is the meetup. And so with the, so local magazines is another place. Direct mail, you want to direct mail to, let's say, high-end zip codes. So again, you can find that out driving around, like they say in Bigger Pockets, right? Driving for dollars, finding property that way, finding high net worth zip codes that way, if you will. And that way, you could direct mail specifically to areas that are, let's say, are filled with high net worth individuals. One thing that Dan does, and I think it's a splendid idea, is a dinner event with investors. So what you want to do in these dinner events is you want to bring people who have already invested with you in the past. Like I've done some small joint ventures. So that's what I do. I bring them into my dinner event. I know Dan does this as well. And then I also bring people that are on the fence, maybe looking to invest with me, but they're not sure yet. They don't know me yet. They're trying to get to know me better, or they're ready to go, but they're just right on the fence, right, ready to make that leap. And so what I do is I maybe do a dinner for 8. I treat, and then I'll put, maybe 4 or mix and match them, but I put on one side of the table people who have invested with me, and then I'll also put people who are on the fence. And then what I'll do is I'll ask the people that are there who have invested with me, and I'll say, hey, could you guys just give a quick testimonial on your experience with me, and kind of just let people know why you invested with me, why you felt that you felt safe or wanting to, or what was your desire of investing with me. And I'll let them go on, because what that's going to do, it's going to let the other investors that are having the dinner as well, that haven't yet invested, to know that, that I'm trustworthy, that they could, it'll just talk, straight from their heart, their testimonial, straight to the ears of the other investors that are there still on the fence. And that's worked for me in the past when I've done joint venture deals. And I'm going to use the same tactic with the syndication as well. We're almost done here. So host a podcast. That's the easiest one of all, right? You don't have to do it every month or whatnot, but if you have a certain topic that you want to touch on, you could do a podcast, right? And you could invite others. Usually when I post, I'll invite people on LinkedIn, on Bigger Pockets, on my Facebook pages, plural, because I have my personal page, I have my business page. And then I also have another personal page, because I went way past my 5,000 member mark or friend mark. So I got another personal page. So I post in these forums about the meetup. I also post on meetup.com. And once in a while, I'll post on Eventbrite. So these are also places that you could post on the podcast, but you could also go to search for high net worth individuals as well. You could attend a Chamber of Commerce meetings. And those are great because you're going to have other investors there as well. A bonus one here, and it's not on here, you could go to my YouTube channel, go straight to Carlos D. Reinoso on my YouTube channel. And when you go there, if you look at my past videos, when the investors are introducing themselves at the very beginning and also at the end, you're going to see their names. And you could reach out to these people, do a Google search or Facebook search of their names and reach out to them and say, listen, I met you, or I heard about you, or I saw that you were on Multifamily Investor Nation Monday meetup. And, I wanted to reach out and introduce myself and kind of let you know what I'm doing and see if there's any synergies between us, right? So basically that's what I do with this podcast is, kind of use it as a platform to network and get to know others as well. So I know that'll work for you guys. So definitely check out my YouTube channel, check out previous videos. I think at this point we have about 12 plus videos. So I hope you guys would go and check that out. And I hope that you use it as well as a platform to get to know other investors as well. You can volunteer locally for charities or other leadership positions. I know myself, I used to volunteer for soccer at the YMCA. I was a soccer coach at the YMCA for 11 and 12, I believe was the age group. My son was a soccer player. I wanted to help him. I wanted to be involved with him. So I volunteered there and I met a lot of high net worth individuals. Plus it was a good chance to give back to my community. And at the same time, if someone has a similar interest, then that'll show an alignment of interest. And that's another way to bring high net worth individuals and people who are looking to invest their capital in your deals as well. Connect with local real estate attorneys is really the last one. Local CPAs, financial advisors, and like today we have Thomas here as well, who's an insurance agent. You definitely want to get connected with an insurance agent or broker, preferably even a broker, or either one is good. But just my experience, I usually connect with brokers and agents, and kind of let them know, listen, if I get a deal and I bring it your way, would you be willing to kind of give me a quote on that? And do you have the resources to give me a quote on multifamily deal? And if so, that's a great way to connect with them. I also have local attorneys, syndication attorneys here in Georgia that I could recommend. So another place that I would highly recommend would be LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to me here today. Feel free to call me after this podcast. Feel free to reach out on LinkedIn and let me know, Carlos, is there anyone that you could introduce me who's a syndication attorney, a CPA that you would recommend, possibly a regular real estate attorney, or other LPs or other general partners? I like giving back whenever possible. I like sharing my information, whatever I have whatever investors I have, I don't have a problem sharing it with you. If I could guide you somehow to the right investors, it would be my honor to do so. So definitely use me as a resource. And again, you can reach out to me on Bigger Pockets, LinkedIn, and Facebook are the main places that I'm at, and Instagram. So those are definitely some other places that you can reach out to these high net worth individuals. So in the chat box, any other places that you guys could think of that you think would be beneficial or that you've tried, and that could go for those of you who are here as well, that you've tried and has been working for you as far as to find investors for your deals. If anybody wants to share that in your chat box, anybody here wants to share as far as places you find investors?
Meetups like this, people that work W2s, a lot of people that work there are interested, they partner.
Thank you.
Continuously raise money together.
Yeah, that's a great one. So Parth, who's here in person, said a great one too, which is at work with the people that you work with. If you work with high net worth individuals already, that's a great place. Kind of tell them about our meetup and tell them about what you're doing, but feel free to bring them to our meetup, because then what we could do is we could talk to them and give them other resources to help them learn and introduce them to other people as well. So people at your job or your work or your business it's a great way as well. And I like what Adriana put here, and thank you for joining us as well, Adriana, to volunteer at a track club. So I think by a track club, I'm thinking she's talking about like track and field. So if that's what you're into, then definitely, because there's other people, other investors that might be into that as well. So I appreciate that. So volunteering opportunities are also a good place to find high net worth individuals. All right, guys. So that's basically my presentation for today. I'm going to go ahead and leave my contact information here while I have this up. I'm also going to ask, are there any questions that you guys might have? Are there any comments that you guys might have? Anything else that you guys want to share? And, I'm going to give some time, because I know sometimes it takes a while. There's a delay. So if there's any questions that you guys might have, now is definitely a good time to share that. And yeah, so again, my name is Carlos de Jesus Reinoso. I always go by Carlos T. Reinoso. My company, you see here, my logo is Canis Major Investment Capital. My email address is carlos@Reinoso, REINOSO realty.com, carlos@reinosorealty.com. My cell. And yeah, we're always looking to partner up on deals. So if that's something that is of interest to you, I highly recommend that you reach out to me. Also, there's a summit coming up that Multifamily Investor Nation does twice a year. That's in January and in June. It's basically a 3-day event. And so you want to go to multifamilyinvestornation.com/summit, multifamilyinvestornation.com/summit, and enter promo code Carlos100. That's Carlos100. And once you enter that promo code, you're going to be saving $100 off the price of admission. So I highly recommend. And as far as places to find high net worth investors, this is also going to be a great place because the last one we had in June had over 500 participants. Of those, at least 300 are experienced investors. And yeah, that's 500 with 2 zeros. And of those, at least 300 are experienced investors. So that's a great place to find partners, limited partners, general partners, and other people to invest with you as well. I highly recommend it. I've learned a bunch there. I've met a bunch of people. And in fact, from the last one to about a week ago, I was still networking and having meetings with people from that meetup, that summit actually, multifamilyinvestornation.com/summit. I highly recommend that as well. And lastly, next month's topic is going to be picking a multifamily market for investing. We hope that you'll join us for that. I want to thank you guys so much for the time that you spent with us. Thank you guys, everybody here in person, for showing up today. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for the applause. Thank you so much. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see you in this next one, picking a multifamily market for investing. Again, I'm your host for today, Carlos D. Reinoso of MultiFamily Investor Nation Monday Meetup with Canis Major Investment Capital LLC. We're always investing into your future and look forward to hearing more about what you guys have going on. And yeah, so hopefully we could go ahead and partner up on deals, and definitely looking forward to seeing you guys out there in the market. Any questions before we go? Anybody have any other questions? No, then that means I've done a great job of presenting today. So I thank you guys for that. And then if you guys do have any other questions that you want to reach out after the meetup, go ahead. You do have my contact info. Feel free to reach out to me. I do have a calendar invite as well. So just send me your invite and I'll definitely link up with you there. And I will be reaching out to everyone from this meetup today. And if there's nothing further, okay, let me just see, because there is something here in the chat box. Okay, let's see. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. I hope you'll join us next month as well. Thank you, Adriana, for joining us today. I appreciate that. And for those of you who couldn't make it today, I know Mondays are really crazy. We hope that you'll join us next time. Definitely check out my YouTube channel at Carlos D. Reinoso on YouTube. Hit me up on LinkedIn, Carlos D. Reinoso as well. And if there's nothing further, this is Carlos D. Reinoso with MultiFamily Investor Nation, MultiFamily Meetup Monday. Till next time, Carlos D. signing off. See you guys. Take care now. Be well. All right, so that was MultiFamily Investor Nation Monday Meetup. I was your host for today. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope to see you next time at same bad time, same bad channel on Monday of October. I believe it's going to be Monday, October 5th, if I'm not mistaken. See you guys then. Thank you guys. Take care now. Bye-bye.